Next on Worcester News tonight, the latest on an elderly man who threatens employees at a central Massachusetts AAA. Plus, the Worcester Railers are back at the DCU Center tonight for Game 6 in their Kelly Cup playoff series. We hear from fans. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. We begin with an update to a story we brought to you at 6 o'clock. An elderly man is facing charges after police say he threatened employees at a AAA in Auburn this afternoon. According to Auburn police, it all stemmed from an argument over a charge. Police say 86-year-old Francis Sepuka was upset after he allegedly had an extra charge on his bill. Before leaving AAA, he allegedly said he was going to come back with an AR-15 rifle and shoot the business up. The office closed for the day and employees were sent home. Police say they don't take threats like these lightly.
His intention, it was more words than actions. There were no actions and no firearms were found in his possession. He was, again, he was located at home in Charlton, no firearms in his possession. He had no access to firearms. It was an empty threat.
Sepuka will be summoned to court for threatening to commit a crime, disorderly conduct, and disrupting the peace. Police also say they will have an officer at the AAA location for the next few days to make sure employees feel safe. The Massachusetts Coalition to Prevent Gun Violence met tonight to discuss their recent efforts. The group met to continue a conversation about curbing gun violence and reducing the number of weapons which could be used to harm or kill, saying it's especially important to have this talk in the wake of several high-profile mass shootings. It took place at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Worcester, where one of the gun buybacks was held last year. It gives the community a chance to come together and share their ideas and thoughts.
Discussion that is long overdue and is pressing in so many ways that have been around for many, many years, but have been made most public by the school shootings and the shooting of unarmed people.
So with the Parkland shooting of Valentine's Day, we have another reason to be all the more concerned about the rising epidemic of gun violence.
The church will host another gun buyback Saturday, June 23rd from noon to 3. Following a comeback win Saturday, the Worcester Railers returned home for Game 6 of their first-round playoff series. Monday, the team looked to force a deciding Game 7 against the Adirondack Thunder later this week. But for fans in Worcester, the team's playoff run is a welcome surprise. Our Cam Jandro was at the game tonight and joins us now live with more. Cam?
Anna, like the Bruins against the Maple Leafs a few years ago, it wasn't looking good for the Railers on Saturday when they fell behind 4-1. But the team was scrappy and they were able to find a way to win and force Game 6 tonight. And fans here in the city of Worcester were just happy to watch playoff hockey one more time.
Railers fans enjoy bonus hockey Monday. The team playing Game 6 of their first-round Kelly Cup playoff series at the DCU Center. And for Booster Club President Rich Lundeen, the more hockey, the better for Worcester.
It's a great foundation for everything. It's not just for the fan base, but also getting players that want to come here. They can see that it's a winning atmosphere.
Worcester forced a sixth game after an unlikely comeback win Saturday against the Adirondack Thunder. Lundeen says it's a different feeling having the Railers in the postseason compared to previous hockey clubs.
This is our team, it's Worcester's team. The Sharks were kind of San Jose's team, they owned it, and they're more concerned about developing players than they were about actually winning.
In its inaugural season, the hockey club averaged more than 4,300 fans per game during the regular season. For many, the Railers' playoff run is a pleasant surprise.
It's hard to get fans to come in and support a team that struggles to make the playoffs. So for them to do it the first year, and to not only make it, but be in Game 6, fight back from a 4-1 deficit last game, it's huge.
We weren't really expecting the Railers to make the playoffs in the first season, and the fact that they're doing so well just in the first series is fantastic.
Monday's game is the 39th to be played at the DCU Center this season, and as the offseason approaches, Railers fans are grateful to have a team back in the postseason.
The wait was hard, but it is well worth it, the way Cliff went around and did everything.
These are bonus games for us that we really enjoy, and the attendance has been great for short notice for the playoffs as well, so it's been a lot of fun.
Now, in their first year, the Railers had more than 150,000 total fans visit the DCU Center for games this year. Unfortunately, that first season has come to an end. The Adirondack Thunder defeated the Worcester Railers 3-1 tonight. Kevin Shea will have a look later on in sports. Anna.
Thanks for that, Cam. Worcester's Board of Health votes tonight in favor of restricting the sale of flavored tobacco to adult-only establishments. This latest decision is part of a policy being considered by the board. The goal is to reduce underage youth access to tobacco. Supporters saying kids are often starting and getting access to it in middle school.
The restriction will lead a lot fewer youth to use these products and get addicted to them, and they're lethal products. It's that simple.
Opponents like City Councilor Mo Bergman say if it's not banned statewide, it's putting the business owners of Worcester at a disadvantage. He also sees other inconsistencies as well.
To see when we're permitting 15 marijuana dispensaries in the city of Worcester, and clearly up until the age of 25, the medical evidence is strong that marijuana affects people up to the age of 25. So if we're not going to ban that, I don't know how you can ban something else that's legal and be consistent with banning one and not banning the other.
The new ban will go into effect January 1st, 2019. A brief court appearance today for the payroll director of the Mass State Police on theft allegations. Denise Ezekiel was arraigned in Framingham District Court today, where she pleaded not guilty. She's charged with stealing nearly $24,000 from state police by making several unauthorized transfers to her personal bank accounts in the form of travel and training reimbursements. Ezekiel has been suspended without pay since November. She's due back in court in June. A group in Massachusetts is speaking out against cutting bus services. Transportation for Massachusetts have been placing these signs on buses saying this bus is endangered. Please save it. The movement comes in response to proposed budget cuts to the state's Regional Transit Authority. The nonprofit organization says without buses, traffic in the state will skyrocket and thousands would not have access to transportation for things like work. A new flight from Worcester Regional Airport to Philadelphia will start in October. American Airlines has already leased its prices for flights, and some people are worried the cost may not be worth it. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
American Airlines has released its fares from Worcester Regional Airport to Philadelphia, and some are not too happy about the prices. On October 4th, on the first day of service, a round-trip flight is $646. When a flight from Logan to Philadelphia on the same day is as low as $291 round-trip.
I would never fly, even for convenience factor. I live 2 minutes from the airport. I'd never pay $600.
I don't think they're going to get any luck with any of that. $600 round-trip. You could drive and enjoy yourself much more.
Bill Randall runs Fly ORH, a blog about the Worcester Airport. He says it's great to see American Airlines come to Worcester, but the schedule is making the prices look bad. Starting in October, a flight will arrive to the city around 9 a.m. and depart for Philadelphia at 9:30.
The Worcester flight's just too late. We really can't make any connections, and we're very limited in the success that we're going to have.
Randall picked another date in October to fly from Worcester to Los Angeles with a stop in Philly. It would cost $262 one way.
It's $161 cheaper to fly to Los Angeles than it is to fly to Philadelphia. It makes no sense.
He fears if the schedule doesn't change, American Airlines will have a tough time in the city.
One, no one's going to just fly to Philadelphia, so scratch that. Two, if you want to connect, there's not many connections. So you're not going to fly to Philadelphia. We don't have many connections. Who's going to be on the plane?
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
An historic Worcester church is finally set to be demolished. Crews began prepping the site at the Notre Dame des Canadiens church for it to be torn down this week. But there's still one last effort to save it. Alicia Palumbo has more.
I just think it's a shame. I liked it. I love that church very much.
For Carmen Perez of Worcester, the impending demolition of the Notre Dame des Canadiens Cathedral that majestically overlooks Worcester Common is personal.
That church means a lot to me. My daughter was baptized, her first communion, and she was confirmed there.
But more than a decade after it was decommissioned by the Catholic Diocese of Worcester and 8 years after it was purchased by Hanover Insurance as part of the City Square revitalization project, the developer says they've run out of reuse options.
I can sincerely say we made our very best effort at a substantial cost to find a reuse for the building. We worked with other developers, various architects, engineers, contractors, and preservation groups. None of these, unfortunately, proved viable.
It's a loss of history that we're not going to get back. Nobody builds these anymore.
The group Save Notre Dame Alliance has been working diligently to raise awareness outside the church and raise seed money to come up with a viable redevelopment plan. The group plans to petition the City Council Tuesday to try to step in and save the building that dates back to the 1920s.
The clock is ticking down. We have really a matter of weeks until it does become irreversible.
The demolition process began today and is expected to take about 4 months. City Councilor Mo Bergman tells me no one wants to see this historic building taken down, but he says the city's hands are tied because the city doesn't own it. In Worcester, Alicia Palumbo, Worcester News Tonight.